What's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you for an ML Sports Take brought to you by Stumblin' Monkey Brewing Company and Stanley Law Offices. Let's recap this St. Bonaventure Richmond game tonight. And, frankly, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm out of words. I don't even know what to say anymore about this group. I'm going to do my best here. The first thing is this. Tonight, something happened inside me where I didn't really get mad at the end of this game because I frankly don't care anymore. That's really where I'm at. Do I care about them long term and the program and my school? All that, sure. But this specific team right now is just basically unwatchable. I mean, we've gotten to the point where this is an unwatchable team. And it's amazing because they shot 47.2% from the floor. Think about this. With Bonaventure, I mean, can we just have a win? Can we just win a game at this point? As we've been fighting and struggling to get a win, right? Over these last, I don't know, it feels like eternity, but a few weeks here, like consistency and just kind of getting on it, right? If you had told me, hey, you're going to go down to Richmond and you're going to be 40.9% from three, 9 of 22. You're going to go 25 of 53 for 47.2% from the floor. And you're going to lose by 10. That would have been a little hard to understand. But Richmond beat St. Bonaventure with 26.1% shooting from three and close to the number at 47.3 from the floor. Where they made up for it, Richmond was aggressive. They got fouled all over the place, which, again, Bonaventure, no discipline on this team. 13 of 15 from the line, so there's 13 free points right there. And, the rebounding edge, Richmond killed them on the boards, 35 to 24. Too many second chance points and too many one and dones the other way. Just an awful display of rebounding, an awful display of defense. By the way, Richmond only made 6 threes, but didn't it feel like 12 or 15 were made because they just could not, the Bonnies just couldn't stop that team when it mattered the most. And that's the thing that's so frustrating is, I don't know as if, are they going to be urgent anymore? I mean, all these questions are going on. My big question right now is what's left of the season? I mean, really, this team is now 7th in the A10. They're 4-4 in conference. We're heading into mid-January or mid-February, folks, and they're 12-7, which is only 5 games over 500. Is this team going to finish over 500? I mean, I don't even know. I said it a couple games ago that I'm not sure who they can beat in the A10. Well, look at that right now. Aren't those words coming to fruition? This team is brutal. They're unwatchable. They're horrendous. They're undisciplined. They're terrible on defense. They're fundamentally a joke. And they don't have a bench. Tonight, Schmidt obviously goes with Koulibaly and Oshun for a good amount of time. But Koulibaly, he gave you 5 points, 3 rebounds, and all the rest. Adams goes in there, 2 points. Again, same old thing. You get 7 points out of the bench. You're only playing 7 players, and those 5 guys, they looked just absolutely gassed. And I don't know why, at some particular point, there has to be an understanding. Mark Schmidt has got to know this. When things are going bad, and you eventually start to score, and momentum is going in your favor, and Jalen Adaway starts to get hot, run the offense through him. Run the offense through Jalen Adaway. I don't really get it. He should have gotten way more touches in that game, I thought, in the second half. And let's just go to a couple of key quick spots, and then I'm out of here because I can't handle this anymore. The Bonnies, it was, 1-point game, 3-point game, a 2-point game with 4:50 to go, tie game at 3:59. And then 31-29. Well, it was 29-29, and then fast forward a little bit, 31-29, 34-29, 36-29. Bonaventure just gives up 7 points like that, right? Over the span of, what is that, 1 minute and 19 seconds. Give up 7 points. You can't have that. I mean, you can't have that happen when it's a tie game and you're starting to get a little bit of momentum as Richmond's missing shots, the defense clamping up in spots, and then all of a sudden it's 2-point tip shot. Terrible boxing out tonight. Just horrible boxing out by St. Bonaventure all night. Backdoor rebounding, following up of shots. I mean, we'll put a body on somebody. My God. and this Tyler Burton makes a three-pointer. Why did Bonaventure have to lose to a team with a guy with a last name Burton? Really? I mean, come on. Tyler Burton makes a three-pointer. Gustafson with a layup, and it's 36-29. Eventually, it was a 38-31 lead at the end of the first half. Now we fast forward to the second half. Bonnies, they get the 38-31. They get the first basket with Kyle Lofton. Lofton makes a three. Now you're going, okay, right? I was saying that. Okay, here we go. It's only a 2-point game. Burton makes a layup. Oshun made dunk. Again, 2-point game. Basket. They go back and forth, this and that and the other thing. 42-38. Welch makes a three-pointer. You're like, hey, 42-41. The offense starting to gel. And then there was just a lot of bad stuff going on both sides of the floor. I mean, Richmond turnover, Bonner turnover, missed shots across the board, some wide open by both teams. Jalen Attaway then makes a three-pointer. They take the lead, and I'm going, okay, here, this is it. This is the offense we've been waiting for. And at that moment, I thought with Attaway, give him the ball more and more and more. And then Richmond comes down, hits a three-pointer, 45-44 shortly after, and then kind of a back-and-forth type of a thing. Welch gets that tip shot. Tyler Burton made jumper again. Holmes makes a three-pointer. Burton answers the layup. Gilliard makes a three-pointer. I thought they actually did an unbelievable job on Jacob Gilliard in the first half, but then they just kind of let him back in the game and gave him too much space. I don't understand. You didn't even have to adjust to it. You just had to keep doing what you were doing. It made no sense to me in that second half defensively. Attaway makes a jumper. Holmes makes a layup. Again, they're right there. It's a 1-point game. Then Burton makes a dunk. Burton makes a three-point shot, 59-53. And again, you're like, what the hell is going on here? It's another situation where St. Bonaventure, they were down by 1 point, and all of a sudden they're down by 6 points, just giving up 5, right away, unanswered like that. Happened multiple times. Attaway with 2:58 makes another three-pointer, cuts it to 3. I mean, this guy, he was the best player on the floor tonight, in my opinion. Richmond comes back, gets a few buckets again. Boom, boom. Then their Bonnies are down 6 again, right? 63-57 after Jalen Attaway's free throw. And then it just goes back and forth for a little while there. Oshun gets a made dunk, and then it just wasn't made to be because you had fouls and terrible turnovers. I mean, the Lofton turnover under a minute with 43 seconds to go. You're down 8, and I understand it's kind of a chaotic, scattered situation, but I mean, there's no comprehension right now with what this team is doing from a basketball IQ standpoint and from a non-urgent standpoint. Again, funny thing in this game, St. Bonnie in the first half, I thought came out and they were really, really looking like they were going to, perhaps get after it here a little bit, right? This was a little bit similar to the Davidson game, and where in which you kind of looked and said, okay, they're urgent, it's urgent. But they lose by 10, and they just start falling apart in spots, and the rebounding was awful. And, just simple body on somebody, simple fundamentals, just not good. Richmond, Gilliard is a guy who has been one of the great players in the A-10 the last few years. Bonaventure held him to 3 points, and it was that one shot I just mentioned. He did get into space quite often, though, in the second half, and then he was able to kick out and do a lot. He had 8 assists in this game. But here's the thing. You shut down Gilliard, but then Burton goes for 36. I mean, you're going to give up 36 points to somebody. That's like a Steph Curry game. I mean, this team right now is a mess, and I don't know. I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to crack champagne if they beat Fordham? I mean, is that where we're at right now? This team is an absolute mess. They're checked out. The coach is not there. He's just not there either. He's checked out. Looks like he's checked out on the sidelines, and just doesn't on the baseline, and just doesn't want to coach, and just doesn't want to, fire these guys up. Maybe he has already done that, and he just doesn't have any energy left. I don't know, but some of this is on him. Some of this is on him from not, playing the bench guys in the beginning. I understand that they had the big lull. I understand the coronavirus. I understand Brown was supposed to be a spark plug, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, folks. This team, that veteran-laden team, it feels like, look at this team. They've been playing together forever, and it shows. Remember those early comments? cut that bullshit, because right now this team looks like they've never played basketball before together. And even with all those things I mentioned, even with the unfortunate situation, the corona, the long, time of not playing, Brown's supposed to be the spark plug. Now he's not. No excuses. Koulibaly and Adams off the bench, and those 5 guys, they should be playing better basketball than this. That's all there is to it. Now, do I wish that they were a little bit deeper? I do. But there are several teams around America who are playing 7, 8 guys every single night. Now, those 3 guys off the bench might be playing an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes than Adams and Koulibaly, but you get the point. It's the same kind of amount of bodies. And oh, by the way, some of these teams don't have 5 freaking seniors starting with Lofton, Welch, Holmes, Attaway, and Oshun. So just another disappointing loss again here for St. Bonaventure. I'm kind of, again, as I mentioned, I'm out of words. The two big takeaways for me in this game, number one, what's left of the season? And number 2, is this team really going to finish over 500? I mean, it's a legitimate question right now. They don't look like they're going to get a top 4 spot for the double bye. They don't have the depth to win, enough games in a row to win the A10 tournament. What's left of the season? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. They could win out, and they're not even going to sniff the NCAA tournament at large. They could win out with 9 wins. Fordham on Tuesday, yay. I mean, again, what are we going to do? Are we going to crack beers and champagne if they win this game? At St. Louis looks like a loss. At St. Joe's is probably a loss. At VCU is probably a loss. And that Richmond team that they just lost to tonight could come into the RC, the last game, which, by the way, that will be a very weak crowd. Well, they might come out for senior night or whatever night. I don't even know who has eligibility left next year from Corona and all this other stuff, but all these guys are gone. There's no way that they're going to be playing this season and have some kind of a hunger to come back. By God, the only 2 guys who look like they give a shit are Attaway and Holmes every single night. But that crowd, oh my God, these RC crowds are going to be absolutely brutal. I'm actually planning a trip to campus because I've been asked to speak to my former professor, Denny Wilkins' class on Wednesday, the February 16th. Maybe I'll just go talk to the class and then not go to the RC. Maybe I'll just do that. Whew. Bad times right now, folks. Bad times. And you know what? I do want to leave people with one thing, all right? Just feel good about something here in the last 30 to 60 seconds. This is rough. This team was picked and ranked in the beginning of the year. They were picked to do great things, and they were ranked at the beginning of the year. They won the Charleston Classic. We had tournament hopes. We had hopes of making noise in the tournament. This team clearly hasn't handled the hype. They haven't handled the expectation, all that sort of thing. This season could go down as the most devastating season in Bonnet history from a disappointment standpoint. But I will say, there's a lot of people who are coming at me with fire Mark Schmidt, fire Mark Schmidt, fire Mark Schmidt. And I don't know if Mark Schmidt, maybe part of why he's acting this way is he knows he's out of here, not being fired, but knows he's leaving. I don't know that. I have no inside information. But does he know something we don't know, that he's not going to coach Bonnet next year? He's going to try to move on to another school. I don't know. I have no idea. Take a job somewhere else. But let's also just kind of try to remember where this program was. We almost didn't have Division I basketball. We almost were not left in the A10 after all the academic fraud that happened with Jamil Terrell and the welder certificate from down south, and Mark Schmidt coming in here and doing what he's done and recruiting all these players and making the tournament multiple times and putting Bonnet on the map, on the national stage, road wins. I thought I'd never see Syracuse lose to Bonaventure in the Carrier Dome. I thought I'd never see it, and that took place. So there have been some great things that Schmidt has done in building the program, and this group right now has done great things too. But the problem is, this is how they're going to finish their college careers, and that's an awful, awful taste in your mouth. There's no doubt about it. Went a little bit long. I thought I was out of here a few minutes ago, but you know what? I get talking, and sometimes you just can't shut me up. ML Sports Take here with the Richmond-Bonaventure, or I should say Bonaventure-Richmond recap. Awful game. Brought to you by our great friends at Welch & Company Jewelers. Log on to welchjewelers.com. Shop the showcase today with the official jewelry store of my platform, the ML Sports Platter. Tip of the cap thank you as well to Camillus Golf Club, Brewerton Ace Hardware, and the Allen Angus Pub. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports. As I always tell you, and try to tell you, especially with this group, enjoy the games.